What's up YouTube, this is Fate, bringing you another deck profile, and today I'm going to be showing off my Red Eyes deck. Now for those of you that doesn't know a little bit of my history of deck profiles, my first deck profiles weren't actually officially on my channel here. In fact, my first one actually went on the channel of a good friend, Enemy, from the other YouTubers that you might have heard of. And one of my deck profiles that I did with him way back when is a very unique Red Eyes Chaos variant deck. So I figured I need inspiration to how to get Red Eyes working. So I actually took a look at one of those very old videos, took a couple of hints from there on how it could help out from the Red Eyes deck clogging up a little bit because it is prone to those problems. And I came up with something that definitely makes Red Eyes a lot more consistent, a lot more volatile, and I'm definitely happy with what I came up with here. So without further ado, let's get started. And to start off the Red Eye engine, we've got the double normal monster himself, Red Eyes Black Dragon. Double Red Eyes Flare Black Dragon. I figured the 2-to-2 ratio was very good, as well as the 2 Equip Searcher of Red Eye or Black Metal Dragon. And I didn't want to go with 3 of this guy because he does need to go to the graveyard to saw off his search effect. And for today's game, even though his attack boost is also good, it's not as useful as you might think it was. So just having the 2 as a utility piece is really good for that factor. And then to round out the general Red Eyes engine, you gotta run the triple of the plus maker himself, Blackstone of Legend. And for one of the methods I used to make this deck a little faster, I ended up going with the Ritual engine. And the Ritual engine actually didn't come from my earlier video, it actually came from watching a video of Team Shockwave, so I also listened to them a little bit and adapted my strategy a little bit around that, and that definitely helps this deck a lot as well. So for that, I ran triple Manju of the 10,000 Hands, and triple Paladin of Dark Dragon. Which, if you get some combos going with this guy in the future, he's definitely a plus facilitator, as well as a welcomed piece in this deck. Now, for the rest of the supporting cast, I run the standard 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, 1 Dark Arm Dragon, 1 Summoned Skull for the fusion play, 1 Keeper of the Shrine because 90% of your deck is filled with dragons, and the 1 combo piece that I did to end up taking from my earlier video to give this deck some really good life is triple Dark Griffer. And the more I see deck profiles online, the more I'm wondering, why is nobody running Dark Griffer? He helps get your Red Eyes plays to the graveyard faster for those that struggle with Dragon Shrine. He's a level 4 that special summons himself, so if you need something to combo with Manju right away for rank 4 Exceeds plays, he facilitates that. He's just that card that takes a bad hand and makes it good. So if you ever tried Dark Griffer out in this deck yet, I highly recommend it. I was pleasantly surprised when I brought this guy back from the depths of my older collection, and he just works wonders. Nothing much more I could say about that. Now that is it for the monsters. On to the spells. I run triple cards of the Redstone. Even with only 4 Red Eyes level 7 monsters, this still plays a really good search or draw engine to the deck, so I see no reason to cut this down from 3. I also run triple Dark Dragon Ritual. And this is another tip that I took from Team Shockwave from the Manju play. Is Dark Paladin will usually get you a Dark Spell Dragon late game. And then after this sits in your graveyard for a turn, you can banish this to search out another Red Eye spell or trap card. So you have things like Red Eye Spirit, Red Eyes Fusion. It just becomes a much more volatile utility piece for early in the game, and it definitely helps you create some plays out of nothing. And then for the rest of the supporter spells, I run double Dark Hole. I have a ton of builds. I can't put Regeki in anything, so poor man's Regeki right here. And then we've got the 1 copy of Red Eyes Fusion, one copy of 1 for 1 for the Blackstone plays, one reinforcement of the army for the Dark Greffers, and one soul charge. That's it for the spell lineup. Onto the traps. We run triple Red Eye Spirit. Now this ended up being a debate between this card and its continuous trap counterpart. I ended up siding with Red Eye Spirit over the continuous Hyper Plusser because unlike the continuous guy, Red Eye Spirit does not need an already established Red Eyes monster on the field to have it go active, which ended up being the downfall of some decks that I've seen and some decks I've gone up against because they would just get stuck with that continuous trap in the back row. I would get free swings for direct damage, and usually by the time they get established Red Eyes on board, it's already too late. Where with this guy, that you don't get as plussy as much, however, it does put that presence of a really strong monster on board to keep yourself in the fight right away. And then to round out the traps, I run the trio of traps that seem to be a staple in Bombless, Vanities, and Warning. That is it for the main deck. Onto the extra deck. I run just my basic rank 4 engine with this big build. So we've got Castell. The new addition to this, Diamond Dire, rest in peace, Exciton, hope you come back from the ban list soon. Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. 101. Daigusto MRL. Black Ship of Corn. And Gaga Cowboy. Now for the Red Eyes part of the extra deck, I run one copy of Archfiend Black Skull Dragon, the walking heavy Armades tank himself. Usually if you can get this guy on board to deal heavy amounts of damage throughout the game, you're going to be in really good shape for the late game, if there is a late game. For the rank 7s, I run one Flare Metal Dragon, one Mechafan Beast Regosec, and one Big Eye. Figured this is the standards to run for today's meta, and none of these guys has disappointed me yet. And in the roundouts of the more unique rank 4s, one Queen Dragon Jin, tons of high-level monsters, Steel Swarm Roach, really nice for anti-pendulums, especially if that ruling sticks around for a little bit longer. One number 80 Rhapsody and Berserk. There are still some decks out there that heavily feed off the graveyard, so this is a good derailment for them. And one choice that most people still don't like, but I like, is Gemini Pearl because it's a 2600 beat stick, and since it has no effect, all I have to say is Fiendish Chain. Gemini Pearl will just laugh at you and keep them walking through straight to direct damage. And with that, that is my Red Eyes deck profile. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And until next time.